What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 147 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes of video games, Greg Miller.
Good to see you. I'm trying to find candy canes.
You're trying to find candy canes.
The Animal Crossing Pocket Camp seasonal event first ever is here, and the candy cane prices are too damn high.
You need so many candy canes to make all of those things. It's ridiculous.
I was talking like that one politician. The rent is too damn high. Remember that guy?
Got it.
Yeah. So you go here, you go your crafting, you go your little special crafting, right? Let's say I want a Christmas tree, which you know I do.
Yeah.
It's 500 bells, a steel. I need 100 candy canes. Now, granted, I'm up to 85.
Did you do
I started it during the games daily, and I didn't really commit to it.
Have you tried the candy cane exploit?
No, what is it?
I'm just making shit up.
Oh, I got really excited.
It sounded right.
Look at this snowman, 300 candy canes. This is like the Dudley Moore movie in which there were candy canes. I don't remember it well. I was a child. Was it? Remember where the candy canes, they like put them into... They put them into the sleigh to make the sleigh fly or something?
No.
I'm going to need a Nick Scarpino in here at some point.
No, I'm thinking if I'll play with Goldie Hawn.
How much of this shit have you unlocked? Because I'm sure you have a
I think I have like 120.
Fucking Jesus Christ, Joe.
Something like that.
What's your level right now? Are we going to talk about games later in the show?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We should probably say it.
Yeah. And this, of course, is Joey Noel joining us for the first time from the beginning of the Kind of Funny Gamescast.
Yay.
So that should be fun. We have her for two very specific reasons. One of them rhymes with Moki Moki.
Jesus.
Miniature mub, and the other rhymes with whatever the fuck. I don't even know what it rhymes with. I always forget the name. It's Animal Crossing Pocket Pals and Friends.
Pocket
Camp.
We're camping.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about that for a bit, and then Andy's gonna come on and talk about some games he's playing. Yeah. But hey, I think it'll be fun. This is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every week, we get together, talk about video games, all the things that we love about them. Cool Greg just brought a beanbag in the room that I didn't even know that we had, and just sat on it.
It's from Extra Life.
So that's fantastic. You can get it early by going to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. And for just $1, you can watch live with us. Or if you aren't trying to live your life around our schedules, you can watch it on your schedule by paying a few bucks more. Once again, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Or you can live your life, your own schedule, not even pay us money, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Mondays. Every Monday the show goes live. It's great. Options. I'm a big fan of options. You a fan of options, Cool Greg?
Yeah, I didn't like those.
He didn't like the chair, so he brought the beanbag. Options aplenty.
That's what you gotta do for
All right,
Cool
so
Greg.
we can get Patreon producer Tom Bach,
The
obviously, the homie, and also Andrea Renee is up for Trending Gamer of the Year for the Video Game Awards. If you didn't know somehow, if you were sleeping under rocks,
Go to Google, put Trending Gamer vote in. You can vote right there in your search engine.
Super easy. Way easier.
Win it for her like you did for me in 2015.
You can vote once a day, and this is the final week. Game Awards are next week.
Right.
It's gonna be a good time.
Thursday if you're getting this late.
It's true. It's very true.
No matter when you're listening, I guess we're in the final week.
Final week.
The final countdown.
All right, let's start with this Animal Crossing stuff.
Sure.
Yay.
Joey, I have so many questions because we've never talked about Animal Crossing Pocket Camp together.
Correct.
What level are you right now, and how small are you going to make me feel?
I think I'm 29.
Okay, all right, it's not that bad. I'm 19, about to hit 20. I'm not obsessively playing it. You know what I mean? I go through my peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Where I think the last 2 days I haven't really been on at all.
I haven't either.
Over the weekend though, Jen and I were parked on the couch. It was like Sunday was the perfect day. Sunday, we woke up, made breakfast, we sat on the couch, played this game for a while. Then we went and did grocery shopping. We came back, started Westworld. I played some games. I played a little bit of this.
Yeah.
I did thank you mail and stuff. Like it was a beautiful day where I got a lot done. She's way further than me though.
I originally wasn't a fan of like the 3-hour cycle for being able to do stuff.
Yeah.
But it ends up being like a really good amount of time, I feel like, because it gives you enough time to do everything, but it keeps you coming back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They've won.
They have. Oh, you're getting it?
Games. No.
Oh.
I'm saying it's like, it's
I got
every
really
3
excited.
hours. You
I
have
thought
to
you
come
were
back
gonna
and blah blah blah.
Why do you hate it? Why do you just blindly hate?
Honestly, I am being a blind hater right now because I do think that is something that it is feeding into people's tendencies, and not necessarily in a malicious way. It's not like this microtransaction bullshit way. It's just a way of like, no, this is a game that wants you to keep coming back into a world that is there and that is evolving over time. I'm totally down for it. Not for me, but happy you guys are having fun.
Yeah. So have you bought any more Leaf tickets?
No, that day one I bought the $3.99 pack just to see what it was like, but I haven't. I feel like I might soon.
Yeah.
I'm down to 4 Leaf tickets right now.
Oh, you only have 4?
Yeah, I've been getting. I was playing fast and
that.
loose. What are you at right now?
I have like 300.
God, I hate you. Have you spent money?
No.
Yeah, right. So you just not you. Well, how do you? Because how much money do you have too?
I have like 30,000 bells.
How do you play this game? I don't understand how you're playing it. Like you're out there playing. You're like Bobby Fischer. You're playing a million chess games at once, and I'm over here on the giant checkerboard with seashells, playing seashells. You ever have this checkerboard at home? You ever have this? I had one of those stupid. My parents bought me as a kid the plastic giant checker thing, and you had a seashell. It was meant to go. You'd play it at the beach or some shit. Like we're in fucking suburbs of Chicago, going to the beach every goddamn day.
Don't you have lakes and shit? No.
Lake Michigan, yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking syringes floating in it. You don't want to go in.
Good lord.
At least when I was growing up.
Yeah.
That's what made us so hard.
Back in my day.
Back in my day of what I was doing over there. Yeah.
So how do I play? So I go around first. So I go around and do all the things.
Of course.
Sorry, there's that. I like that it has the check boxes, so you know like what.
So does any of this make sense to you?
No.
I mean, I'm following along without.
So when you look at your map, you have all the faces of the characters out there who have tasks right now.
Okay.
If they have a green check mark next to their name, it means you already have the stuff they need. You can go straight to them and give it and turn it in. Cool. And then as you complete their task, they give you more tasks, and it's usually 3, right?
3,
and then
it maxes out.
Then they're done for 3 hours unless you spend a reset ticket on them.
Is there someone right now online that like is getting all the retweets because they have just the fucking dopest little camp?
Yeah, there's people have done some really funny things with their camps of like putting the characters in like little jails, and there's one where it's just like all these people. It looks like they're worshiping lamps and stuff like that.
There's some really cool stuff. Yeah,
there's one.
But here's my problem with that: is that's the game isn't designed to make me do that, and I hate that.
Yeah.
The game is designed for me to get as many friends as possible, which means rather than
MySpace,
right. Rather than me craft what I want and what I want my campsite to look like, I have to craft what these fuckers want so they come to my thing and become my friends. Yeah. So I'm spending a resource. Now, granted...
Fake people or real people?
Fake
Animal
people.
Got it.
Animal people.
Cool. So you're not trying to seduce Gary Whitta?
No. Oh, I already seduced Gary Whitta. He's in the camp. Don't worry about that. He's all over the place. Brian Altano, they're there. Amaris, she's there. I got everybody. Jen, she's there in pigtails. It's weird. But you buy these, you get these guys in, you make their furniture. That unlocks new people, but these new people then unlock new styles of furniture. So it's this weird. Do you know? Is there? I haven't even looked into it. Is there an end cap? Is there like how many people I'm gonna get? Are you still unlocking people at level 29?
Yeah. So I have. I don't know. These are like the last people. Yeah.
Oh, they're the last people. Oh, the last people.
Or the last people that I have.
Gotcha.
I don't know what the end cap was. I was starting to think like, man, this isn't going to last very long because I started to look at the stretch goals and I had done most of them. But now they have all of this holiday stuff, and I'm like, oh,
holiday stuff came around, right?
Yeah, that was a good time. That was really.
The holiday stuff has motivated me. I won't lie. When it got announced today and then dropped today, and I found out about it, and I jumped in there. I'm like, yeah, I want a Santa outfit. Yeah, I want a Christmas tree. Yeah.
Well, I heard you had a problem.
What's the problem?
Pants problem.
Oh, I have a pants problem for sure.
Can you please tell me about your pants problem, Greg?
Hey, so here's the problem. Animal Crossing is all about the look. How do you want your character to look? I start this game. I'm in a shitty MVP shirt. I got shitty shorts on, no glasses. I keep going back to fucking the Able sisters here looking for their crap every day. They reset multiple times on the 3-hour time window too. I go in there. Finally, they got glasses. I buy the glasses. Great. Finally, one other day I go in there, they got a black t-shirt finally. It says BB on it, whatever the fuck that means, but whatever. It's a black t-shirt with white lettering. That's a Greg Miller kind of shirt. Buy that, put that on. However, I ain't going to be wearing shorts my whole life. So I just settle and buy some goddamn golf pants. These like this plaid red and burnt orange. Not ugly pants, just not Greg Miller pants. And I'm like, I will live with these shameful pants until I can buy jeans like a normal human being. Then today, Brian Altano blows up my spot on Twitter, puts up a lovely image of us barbecuing. He puts up a very sweet message, and at the end takes a shot at the pants. And it's like, I would give you the money, Nintendo, mobile Animal Crossing developer people. I will give you the money to give me the real pants. Today, as if they wanted to rub salt in the wound, I go there. They're selling jeans with fucking knee pads. Like, do I look like a character in the Arrowverse where I need to go out and defend things at night? No, I just want some fucking jeans to look normal. However, now they got a Santa suit. Let's fucking let's go. Let's go.
Birds, one stone.
Now again, I don't know what this candy cane business is all about. You know what I mean? Because they're giving them out in small, I don't know. I need to get in there. The fucking Shovel Strike Mountain now apparently has a bunch of. Why do you hate it?
Because it's just super annoying.
What? So Kevin says, what does that mean over there away from his mic as he does? In the game, there's all these different areas and camps to go to. Then there is Shovel Strike Mountain, What this has been before is that you would need to either give 20 Leaf tickets, correct me if I get anything wrong, 20 Leaf tickets to get in, or the help of 5 friends, which is just...
These are real life...
Your real life human being friends, where you would just go there and hit it, and then you say, request 5 friends, you go through, you hit as many friends as you got. Hopefully they go in there, exactly, chainmail, and hopefully they give it back to you, and you do it. Then you go in there. There's some wobbly looking guy who looks like one of them Final Fantasy cactuses, but I don't think it's a Final Fantasy cactus. And he's like, oh, fucking break the rocks and get some money and shit. I'm like, all right, break all the goddamn rocks.
Break some rocks and get some money.
What do you do with like the gold and the silver nuggets?
Do you even have them in your inventory? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I assumed I was just getting money out of it or something. I wasn't paying much attention. And now apparently candy canes are hidden in there.
Maybe not. Maybe I don't. I still don't do those sparkly rocks either. I have them, but
yeah. Well, that's like a crafting material, right?
But I haven't had anything ask for sparkly rocks yet.
Really? These guys right there? Yeah. I think it's some of the higher quality recipes needed.
I like how your character looks, Joey.
Thanks. I spent 7,000 bells on that dress.
The economy needs some work. Now, but this is back to my thing with the pants, is the fact in OG Animal Crossing, the Animal Crossing we all know and love, you can design your own shirts. Now they have the crafting section there for clothes and it just says coming soon. And it's like, fucking come now, all right? I'm ready for it now.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, as I started to drift away though, now they got the Santa stuff, I want to get the Santa stuff. Yeah. Okay. And so here, Amaris, I think, put it best on Twitter. Of course, everyone knows Amaris, and if you don't, there's no easy way to explain who she is.
That's true.
She tweeted out on Monday. She's been playing this game nonstop. She's super into this game. She tweeted out a fake conversation, Yuso, and it was, "Hey, Amaris, you've been playing that Animal Crossing," and then it was her response, "Yeah, I love it." And the person going, "Is it good?" And her going, "No." And that's pretty much sums up it. Animal Crossing is that it's not a game as much as it is tasks to do and feel good about accomplishing.
But
I get it. But I get it. It is what it is. It's Animal Crossing in mobile form.
Yeah, and what it is. I mean, I understand it to an extent of analogy to it being like a fidget spinner. Where, what is it doing? It's keeping me from refreshing Twitter the millionth time in a row or going to Reddit to see if something else has popped there. I still do all that, but then I come here and I end up sinking the downtime I have, but like 15 minutes before shows isn't enough for me to jump on the PlayStation 4 and do something.
Now here's the question though, Greg. Have you wasted time on the Animal Crossing Reddit because of this game? Because he has.
I might have just subscribed to the Pocket Pals Pocket Camp sub.
You are
check that out.
in this.
I'm not in this, but I enjoy it, and it's a stupid time waster. And that's what I was talking about earlier, a second ago, of like I'm thinking about putting more money into it because I feel they've earned more of my money. I'm enjoying the game and I'm playing the game a lot, so why not get a whole bunch more Leaf tickets that, whatever. And that's my thing. So you're not using Leaf tickets ever to speed things up, or? I'm
not using it to speed things up. The only thing I'm using it for is like the fishing, casting the nets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
you need people, I'll tell you what, in this Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, people squid crazy. These motherfuckers love squids and fruit beetles.
Well, and it's weird because things...
you said that so like matter of fact.
Everybody at home right now who plays this game, they're going,
I get it.
Greggy, you tell them that's what's happening. Everybody wants a squid and a fruit beetle.
Yeah.
You go there,
so
Kevin.
Many butterflies?
You go there, Kevin, and you can fish in the river or fish in the ocean. Ocean's where the squids are. And then some people, all these people want things from you. Some people want a bunch of squids and apples and shit. And then you go over to the other place, they all want the fucking fruit beetle. But only the fruit beetle, for me, usually only appears on the back tree. So I got to go through there.
Only the back tree?
Usually. Sometimes I'll get a fruit beetle up front. Sometimes I'll get a fruit beetle up front. Usually in the back right tree is where I'm going to get that fruit beetle.
I can check. Used the honey yet?
Fuck, Joey. Did I just wake up and start playing Animal Crossing today? Yeah, I've used the honey. You kidding me? I'm putting honey on stumps all over the place.
You playing this shit, Andy?
Fuck no.
Andy, no.
Andy's not.
There's something to it.
It has a good hook.
It's got a good hook. It's satisfying to fuck with your character. You can play it for free.
Heroin.
There's something charming about it, even though it's not a great game or anything.
Totally get it.
But it's also like so many people. You the other night we went out for some cocktails and we were talking a little bit about this game. You, of course, just all flying over your head. But then you brought up Chrissy Teigen. How she's been taking it to task and doing all this stuff. And I was like, I had seen some of those. And I started following her. she's in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
Like this game's not that great, but she keeps playing, and she's put like what? She's like $120 in over the weekend, is what she said.
She got that Dumb Legend money, man.
Ooh, Tom Nook chair. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's a special chair, and it's really expensive.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you got that Chrissy Teigen money. You got that
Chrissy Teigen money.
Exactly.
All right. Any more things to say about Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and Pals?
I like it.
I like it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's dumb. It's like I said, it keeps me out of trouble.
Keeps you off the streets.
Because here's the thing. The amount of time I've done it where I come home, right? And I'm like, I'm going to fuck around on my phone for a second. And I look at Reddit for 45 minutes and feel like I accomplished nothing. Now I accomplish nothing, but I see something. You know what I mean? Now I see, like, I told you a funny story about my BB shirt. I'm going to call it my BB88 shirt right there. Maybe it means best boy. Maybe it means best buy. Maybe it means bongos. Let's put some money on the stove.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I waste a lot of time on Reddit, but it's all good. But I wouldn't call that time wasted, though. You know what I did?
If you enjoy the time.
You know what I did on Sunday, I want to say it was? I found a new Reddit that I love, a new subreddit called Wholesome Gifts.
Okay.
And it's just a bunch of gifts of like soldiers coming home and like, you know, people hearing for the first time and like all these moments.
People opening up puppies for Christmas.
Exactly. Or like kids.
People seeing colorblind.
Colors for the first time, or like kids that were adopted asking their parent or asking their like adopted parents like 10 years later to adopt them. And I just let's fucking cry fest. I probably 4 hours just scrolling through the whole thing. I was crying alone in my bed. Gio wasn't even there. It was just me. And I was just having this just emotional downpour or outpour. So I understand.
Can I give you one? Do you need to follow then?
Yeah.
Humans being bros.
Humans being bros.
There was a great one the other day. These guys are out in like an icy lake, and there was just like a giant piece of ice floating, and there was like a dog trapped on it. And they went over there and they coasted in the boat finally. Get in there.
Because I'll tell you, man.
Threw food in the water.
The Reddit, with all the Reddits that I follow, seeing that one pop up next to the other ones, one of these things is not like the other. And it gets real weird real fast. But,
do you follow No, Yes?
I do not, but that's fantastic.
It's like all these gifts and stuff where you're like, oh, this
a guy in a bike going down a mountain and it's like, oh shit, no. And then he like lands perfectly and it's like, oh, that's
a good one.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Anyways, enough with the Reddit and Animal Crossing. Joey, you are on the show for a very specific reason, and that is to explain the national craze.
Oh my God, yes,
that is
please, finally.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yes. It's really hard to explain. That's the other thing is like, are either of you planning on playing this?
Everyone tells me I should. But they also, it's a gone home situation where I hear you have to play it. It's only 4 hours. Don't know anything if you're going to play it.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I mean, it's a PC game. You know what I mean? I go to my PC. I got to do my taxes. Minesweeper's right there. You know what I mean? I ain't got time to fucking play this.
I wanted, when everyone was talking about it, I'm like, this looks like a Tim Gettys ass game. I should play this. But I was like, I don't really want to play it by myself. Like I was, my first thought, I was like, I want to play with Andy. I want me and Andy to sit and play through this thing.
You could play it with another. I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to sit at home on my computer doing this shit. Like, nah. But then the zeitgeist, I say, is gone.
So give me. I know nothing about it.
Literally nothing about it.
Yeah, can we do spoiler free?
Yeah.
So we'll do spoiler free.
Do spoiler free, and spoilers meaning like the don't gone home ruin it. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's hard.
So it's a visual novel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dating sim. So you're a student.
Uh-huh.
I think you're a dude. And then you meet up with your neighbor and she convinces you to join this Doki Doki Literature Club at school. So it's her and it's 3 other girls. One's the president. You can't romance her. And then you pick between the other 3. So like for the first hour or 2, it's like pretty normal. And then things take a drastic turn.
In a sexy way?
No.
Okay.
It's spooky, right?
So no spoilers. We're not spoiling shit.
Are we going to?
So now that's the thing.
That's the pitch on it.
Don't really.
Okay.
I would love to do this as a long.
Andy's talking off mic. I don't know if he hears it.
Okay.
I don't.
A 4-hour let's play. Don't just nod.
We don't have time to do that.
Yeah, when are we gonna do that? Yeah, when are you gonna do that? He's just moving his hands now.
He's just making jerk off motions.
That's like, not that. This
I
kind of
don't
game.
think I'll ever end up playing it. Okay. So I'd like you to spoil it for me, Andy. You can go in the other room. We'll yell for you when it's your time, Andy. He can barely get out of that beanbag chair.
So
all right. So now we're going into spoilers.
Kev, can you spoil it, bro? Us? We're putting up the spoiler bro tag.
Wait, for like the actual video?
Yeah, that's what he means. Now, while you think about that, how long do you think you'd spoil it? Like, if for an audio listener, how far should we have them jump
a
ahead?
couple minutes. We can.
Let's put it on the clock.
Yeah.
For audio listeners, that for the next 3 or 5, 3.
Yeah.
The next 3 minutes.
I will commit to going through and putting it in the description for the audio track of when you can listen again.
Okay.
Good guy, Joey.
Let's do. We're going to say 3 minutes. We'll check in. You're setting a 3-minute timer?
3 minutes. I'm setting a 3-minute timer.
No, he's just going to do it there, and then when the audio goes off,
perfect.
So you say when you're going to hit it.
All right, I'm about to hit it.
Spoilers beginning in.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Holy fuck, this game.
Really?
Yeah. So you have to pick one of the 3 your neighbor, the like super emo girl, and like the little like feisty pistol girl. So it takes you through, you have to pick one to romance, whatever. Eventually the neighbor girl tells you like, hey, I really struggle with depression. I'm falling in love with you. You have to figure out what to say. I didn't romance her. I romanced the like super emo girl.
Sure.
And eventually you like stop hearing from her. She gets weird. At least for me, she got weird. Because
is this through text you're doing this?
It's conversation.
So how do you stop hearing? Oh, okay. She just stops coming around?
Yeah. You're like, she doesn't show up to school one day, whatever.
Okay.
You go and like, you find her and she's committed suicide. So like it gets super dark, and it's like normally with stuff like that, I feel like they show shadows and stuff like that, but it is like she hanged herself, and like that's why it gives you like the spoiler thing at the beginning of like, hey, this is like really kind of twisted.
Shit gets real.
Yeah. So then you like deal with that. Then it like gets weird because it'll restart the game and she won't be an option in there anymore. And then you have to pick the other girl. And then one of the other girls stabs herself and kills herself because of you. And there's all these weird glitches. Like the game will glitch out and shut itself down. And until you start making different choices, it won't let you proceed.
Interesting.
So you can't, when I was playing it, I was texting Barrett. I was like, is this supposed to happen? Is this not supposed to happen? Like, and he was kind of like helping me with it a little bit. And then you get to the end and the one girl you can't romance, it turns out that she knows that this is a game and it's like super meta. She knows she's in love with you. And so she's deleting all these character files so you don't fall in love with them. And so
interesting. That's cool.
Then to get to the end of the game, you actually have to go into the game files and delete her character file. And
that's
then it
cool.
restarts the game without her and just the other 3 girls. It's super crazy.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
How after you delete the character file, do you have to then beat the game again?
So then you restart it and it starts with just the other 3 girls and it takes you through like a little thing and then it gives you like an actual ending. And there's like a letter that pops up and stuff, which I was distracted because I was like trying to talk to people out at when that was going through. But it's to restart the game, you have to delete the whole game file and re-download it because it like totally fucks with the actual code and stuff.
That's cool.
Like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So how long is it to get to the end of a section?
20 seconds.
So this entire thing's 4 hours?
Yeah.
So then like
it's broken up by days. So like you have day 1 and like you write poetry and you pick different words and each word is like associated with like the personalities of one of the girls. So that's how you romance them, is you try and write poetry associated with each one of them.
And yeah, we're stopping a little bit short.
But
how much time? How much time was it?
We had like 5 to 8 seconds left.
We'll just hold on because I mean, then so like if they're coming in any time now, you just want them to know it's over. Spoilers are over.
Spoilers
done
are
and
over.
done.
I'm glad you told me. That sounds awesome, but I don't think I need to play it.
Yeah.
Visual novels, man, I want to like because I like the Vita, and there's a million of them on there. And every time I try, I was just like, I can't. Like even when it was like Had a Full Boyfriend came over, I was like, yeah, everybody loves this. Miranda loves it. I can't wait to play. And I started playing. I'm just like, I just can't get into this.
Yeah, there was a while where I was like, literally all I'm doing is like clicking this, and I'm like, there's not a ton of like engagement. But it was like a weird meta game that I wasn't expecting, because based on the disclaimer that you get at the beginning, I knew that there was like some sort of twist, but I didn't expect it to go in that direction at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to play it, it's easy.
Is it free? Yeah, I was gonna say it's free, right?
So it's just on Steam, so it's not super hard and like pretty accessible, but. Yeah, it's totally different than what I was expecting it to be, because it's played out as this like super Japanese dating sim, and that's not what it is. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like the anime school days. She gets fucked up in that. Well, Joey, thank you very much for joining us.
I'll go tag in Andy.
So let's tag Andy in. This should be fun. Andy's been playing a couple of video games.
Oh, he's here. He was listening the whole time. Now it's all ruined for him, huh? Can you believe it's really all underwater.
The whole time. Shit.
Hi,
Hey
guys.
Man, this is
What you been playing?
chair. Well, I was home for Thanksgiving. Right, my Thanksgiving club banger. RGB. We don't play no games, Kevin. I
played games there.
Yeah, I played a few games. Broke the law. On the run.
Yeah, wow.
I can't. I'm not allowed back in. I beat Call of Duty World War II
Ooh.
and Wolfenstein 2.
Ooh.
So I beat Call of Duty World War II. Story gets very, very predictable towards the end.
Okay.
Some really cool moments. Can we go into spoiler bros? Are you ever gonna beat it?
No, probably not.
Spoiler bros time.
I don't think we have to take a timer for this one either. It's just the end of the Call of Duty
Yeah.
campaign. It's interesting because I feel even from the beginning it was kind of like predictable.
Well, sure.
When they started introducing guys, I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna get fucking killed.
Huh? Did you get it? Okay, maybe not. It gets very. If you ever beat Madden long shot, right?
Yeah, in
So we're spoiling
long
long shot, too.
It's a long shot.
The moment where he's like about to make the pass and his dad's like,
Use the force.
you gotta rip it. So, you
Fucking
know, like,
rip it.
He's like,
You gotta fucking rip it,
son.
man.
The same moment. Essentially, there's one really cool moment that I certainly didn't see coming, but your friend who's part of your squad, who's the Jew, he gets captured by the Nazis, and you are given a leave. You're given the option to leave, like, you know, hey, you kicked ass. We're going to give you all this awards. You can go home. And he's like, no, I'm not leaving until we get back Zussman.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, shit, that's pretty cool. And essentially Josh Duhamel's character is like fucking dick or whatever. And he's like super drunk. He's like, you're telling me you're staying here when you could leave? Like, are you fucking kidding me? He's all pissed off at him. He's like, we're not leaving without Zussman. And then you find out about Josh Duhamel, what really happened with him, and the reason why he broke the rules was because he didn't want to leave squad mates behind, and a lot of people died. So that was like his whole why he was such a dark character or whatever. So then you tell Josh Duhamel, hey, we're gonna go get our pal, and he's super drunk. He's like, all right, well, you got one shot, you know, whatever. So you go get him, and you're going to look for your friend. You're walking through an actual like concentration camp where a lot of people, essentially all the Jewish people, had been like removed from the camp or whatever, along with the Germans, because the Germans knew that they had lost these areas, so they left with a lot of them, and really kind of cool. There's an area where you're not walking, you can't run in this area. You're just kind of walking, looking around at the camps, and there's a bunch of like dead bodies. It's like really like it's fucking like haunting almost. And essentially you keep walking, and you know that the Nazis had just left, so you eventually find them in the forest, and you see Zussman on the ground. He's about to get shot. And then the flashback. There are several flashbacks to your brother when your brother's being bitten by the wolf in the forest.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, take the shot or whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't. You think the brother's alive this whole time. The brother died at that moment. So there's like a flashback to where you think you're going back home to go hang out with your brother. And there's like this, when you're given the leave of absence, you go into this sort of like cutscene where it looks like you actually went home, and he goes home, and his wife is like, don't ever leave me again. He's like, I won't. And then you go to the bar, and your brother's right there. He's like, what's up? You know, this and that. And then it turns out that was all just like a dream, and he knew that he wasn't going to leave. He was going to stay there until they went to get his friend. So your brother is getting fucking like, you have this flashback to your brother being mauled by the wolf, and you're going to shoot the Nazi dude who's about to shoot your teammate. And he's like, take the shot, kid, or some shit like that. And then you fucking pop that dude in the head. Yeah, fucking rip it, son. And then you save your friend Zussman, and like they do a great job of making him look like really skinny. And he had been famished for like 2 months. I think he was captured from several months. He looks really sick, and like it's awful. And then you and your squad you get to go home, and yeah, kind of predictable, but I really appreciate.
That sounds awesome.
I really appreciate how much work, and so spoilers off. I really appreciate how much work that they put into the campaign, and what such a level of polish and production. Knowing that Call of Duty is still primarily a multiplayer game, I love seeing that they still care and they give a shit. The story isn't like this crazy story. It's kind of your predictable movie about war or whatever. it's not like an incredible campaign by any means, but I think it's good. I think it's really good. And I'm happy that they at least, you know, put effort into it, and it shows. And then I beat Wolfenstein. Last time I was talking about Wolfenstein, I talked about a part where I kept dying a lot, and then I lowered the difficulty, and I kept dying. Lowered it again, and I still died 2 more times before I beat it. And I feel like that area, I must have been doing something incorrectly, because the rest of the game was on the easiest difficulty, obviously incredibly easy. I didn't die. I died once because I like was looking at my phone or something like that, and I ended up getting shot. So I feel like I was giving shit to Bethesda about this, but it may have just been me not accepting or verifying that I had lowered the difficulty all the way. I think I may have switched it and maybe didn't click verify. I don't know.
You're not alone. I mean, I thought the game was difficult.
So I felt like, come on, guys, fuck. Even on the easiest difficulty online, but for the rest of the way through, there were times where I was like, maybe I should raise it back up because I'm just mowing through people and there's like no challenge whatsoever, which isn't their fault. That's just how it's designed. But for as great of a game as it is, there are a lot of level design issues where you just don't know where the fuck to go. There's so many moments where I'm just like, man, even when there's a pointer, I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to get there? There's a part in the final scene, and it's all coming down to this, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's not obvious where you're supposed to go. It's almost as if like they wanted you. It's this big climactic moment, and instead of just doing the thing, you have to like, how do I get over there? I'm jumping over this railing. I can't jump over the railing. Let me go. No, that area's blocked out. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's all supposed to like lead up to this awesome moment, but they stuck in one extra little, you know.
I felt that way with Uncharted 4. Like when you get to the area where there's just a lot of foliage everywhere and it kind of looks Last of Us-esque.
Okay, yeah.
Where it's like, I feel like there was like one area too many that was just like, oh man, we already had a couple like set pieces. Like, keep that momentum going.
This is the final scene where it all comes down to. It's going to be fucking awesome and the payoff's going to be great. And they didn't have to put in this stupid fucking thing in there. It's just like, it was so frustrating. To the point where I had to look up a YouTube video to be
really?
like,
where the fuck do I go?
What like, and it's a room like this, and it's like, how do I get over there?
Yeah.
Why can't I just do the thing? Why do you have to? I don't know. That's
still though.
I thought that was a terrible decision. It's phenomenal. I think aside from level design problems in some areas and the difficulty ramps, I think there's so many games of the year, in my opinion, that could have been game of the year at any moment.
That's one I do want to get back to. Like, I wouldn't want you to spoil for me, just because from what I've played, I love someone.
This would have been absolutely up there. The acting, the character development, it's fucking awesome, man. Yeah. Really, really good. And I started Nier.
Oh, yeah.
Not too far into it. I'd say about like 2 or 3 hours in.
Do you get it?
I get it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, this is all just from hype from Twitter. So many people in the Kind of Funny community that, like friends of mine, like Danny Juarez and Barrett and Blessing and stuff, always talking about Nier. And like, so I finally dove in over the break. I bought it for like one of their Black Friday deals, and it's awesome. I mean, the environments are very samey. If I had all the money in the world, I would have like given them a bigger budget, because it seems like 99% of the art budget was spent making 2B and 9S, like the main characters, and then a lot of the NPCs look pretty bad, and a lot of the environments are like so. I mean, in the intro level, it's clear like, oh, I guess just you know, from the perspective of someone who made art, it's like, yeah, that texture's here. Texture 1's here, texture 2's here, then 1 and 2, and it's just like there's a lot of areas where rubble kind of looks very similar.
How's the volumetric fog?
The volumetric fog, not as good as I thought it'd be. Really? Yeah, not as good as I thought.
Heartbreaking.
The environment. So when you're running around them, there's this one sort of level where you are on Earth essentially, and there's like foliage and stuff like that, and it looks like kind of the same complaints that I had about Destiny 2, except Destiny 2 looked even nicer than this. It looks like a really nice PS3 game. It looks like I'm running around a PS3 made environment. with characters that look way more detailed than anything else in the game.
The thing about the game that I loved from the demo that they put out in the beginning of the year was just how the gameplay style shifted so seamlessly between the kind of like top-down bullet hell like twin stick shooter thing combined with more of a side scroller combined with more of a like Devil May Cry feeling action
third person action.
Yeah, shooting, jumping, dashing away. I love the action. I love the combat. It reminds me so much of the first time that I played Metal Gear Solid 1 on PS1. The way the menus look, the way the camera fixes to certain areas. Not the combat, obviously, but the way when you walk into a new room, now you're side-scrolling. You walk into this room, now you're top-down. The way just all the little sound effects of being in the menu and the little like just all the little dings and sound effects.
I can see that. I've been restless since last Gamescast, so I've tried a bunch of stuff, and I popped near in and played through the intro shooting bullet hell stuff down to the ground running, got the first real taste of combat or whatever, and like menus especially. I was like, oh, this. You had already said that, so I was looking for it probably, but I was like, that feels like Metal Gear.
Yeah, there are like. You can sell parts that you find or whatever, and you can sell your core, which is your life as a robot or whatever, as an android. And when you hover over the core cell or whatever the fuck it's called, the processor, I forgot what it's called, but it says, you will die if you sell this. And so, of course, I was like, I'm going to sell it. And I sold it, and the game went black screen. And then it starts up with, like, your little startup text, and it, like, scrolls up. And then you start the game again. And luckily, I wasn't very far into it. Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I love I love touches like that. Like, the way... I know that it gets even more psychological down the road, like from what I've heard, and I'm looking for more sort of TV turning off and seeing like Hideo 1, you know, Metal Gear sort of shit. Like, I love when game developers get creative. It's such a weird fucking game, and I can't wait to play more. I just haven't played it really since my break. I popped it in last night, and then I just fell asleep because I was so tired. But I can't wait to get more into it. I'm hoping to beat it before we do like Game of the Year stuff, but I don't think I'll have the time.
Sure.
And that's what I've been playing.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You can get
I'm
back
going
to
home.
Anytime.
Yeah, you need to go home.
Go build your Gundam.
He had some Olive Garden today, Greg, and it did not treat him well.
I'm just telling you, like, there's a lot. I mean, I turned down the Olive Garden because the food's not good, and I had better food here. Like, we make a lot of bad decisions here as a company, period. Full stop. But we also make a lot of bad decisions for lunch. Nick got sick going to Dave & Buster's yesterday.
Horrible decision.
Because he ate a giant piece of fried cheese. Nick, you don't eat that. That's not the kind of food you eat.
Yeah, your body can't process
if it's not
it.
just straight fucking protein, it's not a beef jerky, you can't get in there, Nick, and just eat a giant thing of cheese. I ate it. I was fine. Nick ate it, dipped some of it in ranch and got sick. Well, like, no shit. Your body can't do that. Kevin and I could do that. Kevin and I could take batteries out of watches, dip them in ranch, eat them, be fine.
That is so true. So true. Now it's time for This Week.
I don't get to talk about any of the games I've been playing.
Oh, did you want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I Platinum Destiny. I want my round of applause.
Congratulations, Greg.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa, how's the going?
Shut up. Still excited for Curse of Osiris. That's next week. I'm stoked for that. Doing a raid tonight in Destiny. Still all in. Destiny's a great game. I love Destiny. I can't wait to play more Destiny. Want that out there. The only thing I think worthy, because again, I've been hopping around, right? So I jumped into that Planet of the Apes game for a little bit. I jumped into Last Day of June finally. I jumped into Nier finally. I jumped into Star Wars Battlefront 2's single player finally. Played all these things for like an hour each or whatever, and they're all fine. You know what I mean? Like none of them. The problem was nothing was grabbing me. I still feel like I'm doing Last Day of June a disservice because I liked it so much as the preview event. But I keep trying to wait for that mood. But I tried to force it this time around. I wasn't into it, but it's still beautiful and cool. The only thing of substance then outside of Animal Crossing.
It's called Last Day of June?
Yeah, the Last Day of June.
It's my birthday.
Well, it's his wife's name too.
Damn, that's really sad.
Yeah.
Game about my birthday would be a lot happier.
Yeah, it would probably maybe last day of Tim. You never know. You know what I mean? But the other thing I think the most amount of time, like a full narrative, would be, as I talked about last time on this show, Batman episode 3 of season 2. There, Batman. I feel like this is a game. Most Telltale games, the people who want to marathon them all. I'm always like, I don't know, man. That's not how I want to play them. Blah, blah. I feel like this one would play better as a marathon because I feel both episode 2 and now episode 3 have been good and solid, but they're not like wowing me the way season 1 did. Season 1, I felt like every episode had something in there. Whereas like before this, I was sitting down, I was like, I want to talk about episode 3, and I was like, fuck, what happened? I went back to Wikipedia and like read that, and like that's not the way. That's not how I should feel about a Telltale game after the fact. But it's also, it was holiday. We're tired and doing a bunch of different things. The Joker's still great in it. You know, our friend, of course, he was already on the show. That performance is great. I like what they're doing with that character. Still don't like Harley's voice acting performance, so like that's taking me out of it every so often. You're working with other supervillains that I won't name in case you're trying to stay completely out of it. They're cool enough, but it is just this thing of like, all right, we're spinning our wheels. Catwoman is shown back up at the end of episode 2. Now she's a main player in episode 3. That dynamic with her and Bruce was really cool. That's what I think I really remember coming away from the episode with. I like the choices I made there. It'll be interesting to see what the other choices for people are, because this leads it into a very different situation that's more, I think, in line with comic books at the moment. And then the choice itself at the end was, I would have struggled to remember it, but then looking it up, I was like, oh, I'm interested to see where we pick up with that. But
it's not like this like game changer.
I feel like it's a cool cliffhanger or whatever, but it would have been better as just one marathon to block. But I can't do that to myself, of course. So I still like it. It's just I feel like season 1 was so high and did so much cool shit that this is just like, okay, it's more. We're doing cool things, but we're not getting our hair blown back.
And then Planet of the Apes, you mentioned it. Where are you at with it?
I came home I think the night of Gamescast, came home and I was like, gonna play it. It's Tuesday. We're all excited. And I had forgotten after Alex O'Neill's Irrational Passions live stream to switch my primary PS4 back to that PS4. So came home and like turned it on. I was like, fuck, it hasn't downloaded. So I started it. Then we went and watched War of the Planet of the Apes, which was a really good movie. I enjoyed myself there. And then it was time to go to bed. But I started it and did that thing where I'm like sleepily playing through it. And for a game where you have to read a lot of captions because the apes don't all speak, it was like I was struggling. Right? No, it's PlayLink. So you're on your phone making your choices, or you can use the controller. Yeah. Huh. No, this is the one that's even less game. Stick with me because I'm not trying to be insulting. Than a Telltale game where it's like you're just watching the movie and then dialogue choices pop up and you go left or right with your stick, or if you're playing with other people on their devices, everybody votes for what happens. And then we get that thing. I think it's another one where if I was in a room full of Planet of the Apes fans, it would be a little bit more engaging. Like, no, don't say that. Let's chase it. When it's just me making the choices, it's super quiet and solitary and all right, let's get going. But it's a weird one where I played it that night for like 15 minutes before I think I fell asleep, and then in my hopping around the other night, tried to jump back into it, and I think I did the exact same thing. Now, the game quality is putting me to sleep as much as I'm just exhausted and trying to get as much gaming in as possible. So, I don't know. I'm not super compelled to go back and do it, because I'm not, but it's also, I don't think I'm far enough into the campaign to really care. But I see, from what I've seen, the few reviews that have actually popped, people aren't digging it, so who knows?
Well, now,
it's
time for This Week in Gaming History.
I'm going to switch chairs while you do that, because this is a better chair.
Sure.
And Kevin, buy all these chairs and don't listen to Tim.
All right.
1 year ago, on November 29th, 2016, Final Fantasy 15 came out.
Finally.
On PS4 and Xbox One. Not the September release date that we all
bunch of hacks said.
Yeah, who the fuck would have said that on stage in front of 7,000 people? Definitely not us.
Not us. I mean, we didn't say it technically. Other people said it.
Yeah,
I think we might actually say it.
We just pointed at it. 7 years ago.
Can you believe we did that still? Isn't
really
that such a weird thing to think about?
We're in the credits of that game.
Are we really?
Yeah.
I never rolled them, so I wouldn't know. But what, special thanks?
Yeah, we're in the special thanks section, but our names are there.
That's awesome.
It's on my Instagram. You can check it out. Instagram.com/Tim Gettys. Scroll back a whole bunch.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like it's going to be recent.
Well, you could probably look around November 29, 2016, and you'd find it there. 7 years ago, on November 30th, 2010, Epic Mickey came out on the Wii.
Wow.
Man,
Warren
that's
Spector.
7 years. That feels like a long time because it feels more recent than that.
I remember them saying they were Warren Spector. I'm going to do this. I was like, man, that does not sound like a good idea. That does not seem like a game that's going to be a huge hit.
So beyond hyped for this game.
Yeah,
obviously.
All Disney fans were, and I'm not trying to take away.
Okay, let's. The Wii's going to get an exclusive, like a big exclusive. Warren Spector. All this, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's going to be a 3D platformer, and like, there's going to be a lot of care put into this. I was like, this sounds great. It's a story of like the lost things from Disneyland. I'm like, all right. Fuck you, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Codename Epic Mickey. Everything about this, I was just like, this is like the Tim Gettys Dark Knight-ification of Disneyland, putting it into a video game in a genre I love. All that sounded great. The Game Informer cover came out to announce it all.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is gorgeous. This art style looks super freaking cool. And then the first trailer for the game happened, and I was like, oh no. Like, oh, and
what didn't speak to you about
with
it?
the name Epic Mickey. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Seems like a code name, but fine.
What about the gameplay didn't stick for you?
It was way too floaty.
Refresh me. It was platform, but all painting.
And then there's the painting and all that stuff. And none of that was really
the problem.
The problem. It was just more that the gameplay wasn't tight.
Okay.
Like the key to 3D platformers is tight mechanics. And the gimmick needs to be interesting. And it felt like a dumbed down Mario Sunshine in a lot of ways with the paintbrush stuff. And it always felt like the game was at odds with itself when it was trying to get you to progress on the platforming wise, but then fighting the enemies felt like the controls didn't allow you to move forward while fighting. So it felt very stop and go.
Okay.
And that was a huge issue. And then also just there wasn't much to the game in terms of the worlds that you'd go to. And I feel like they didn't fulfill the promise of it's Disneyland's forgotten memories. It's like, yeah, sure, there was Oswald the Rabbit and he was the bad guy. Fine. But I was expecting a lot more Disneyland into it. Whereas that was kind of just more the backdrop of the story.
Were you blown away they did a sequel?
I was like, I couldn't believe that they did a sequel, and
build
especially
up to
on the other consoles as well.
They put it out, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, it never was for me. And then I don't remember much about it because I never played it, but I remember reading reviews and being like, definitely not for me. And every Disney fan I know being like, oh, it's a miss. And I was like, oh, well, there's something you'll never see. Oh, they're making a sequel. Yeah. Here's Epic Mickey 2.
Well, I think a lot of people were, because you saying that, you're talking about Disney fans that are in the media and in the know, not the kids, not the people just at home that like the James Burks of the world that are like, Epic Mickey, sign me the fuck up, I'm in. And they all enjoyed it enough, whatever. But the problem was just people weren't buying games on the Wii. It's like even though the Wii was such a
attach rate sucked for Wii.
The attach rate sucked, so that messed everything up. And I think that Warren Spector and then we're like, "Fuck, we have one more shot.
We got something.
We have something here. Like if we put it on PS3 and 360, it'll sell more." And it didn't. And
did it use Move on PS3? Is that correct?
I never played 2. I don't remember. But yeah, the motion controls were a big thing on Epic Mickey 1. But man, that was so sad. One of my biggest gaming disappointments in history. It's up there with Devil May Cry 2.
Oh no, mijo.
Here you go, Greg. 9 years ago, November 27, 2008, Patapon 2 came out on PSP in Japan.
Okay, I'll take it. I don't care.
Patapon 2, where's that fall on your Patapon ranking?
It's a complicated question. The problem with Patapon 2 is that it required so much grinding, and it took a long time, which was great for a portable game and was awesome. What I like, it's similar to a situation of when I talk about Uncharted 4 being the best Uncharted 4 because this is cheat, right? Of like so much payoff for it. Every Patapon, well, 2 and 3 learned from the Patapon before them. So by the time you get to 3 was awesome because it was a portable game where you could grind, but you had one hero to worry about, and you could then team up and do this like multiplayer shit that was really awesome. Patapon 2, in terms of what core Patapon is, which is based on Patapon 1, this Patapon 2 was probably the better one. Patapon 3 took it in a different direction and really changed the gameplay of it a bit, whereas Patapon 2 was... The original Patapon is a super confusing game or at least when I was playing originally, of like, who am I going to get? Like, how am I going to get a Rarepon? What are you going to do? Like, there's a lot of experimentation, whereas Patapon 2 like actually spelled out for you, if you want this is what you need to do, and like kind of had a built-in, not wiki, but like instructions that didn't exist in Patapon 1. But then Patapon 3 made it so different when you had your hero and you had your multiplayer and you did all these different things. I wonder if we'll get this. They put out Loco Roco remastered. They put out Patapon remastered. Then they announced Loco Roco 2 remastered. They haven't said anything about Patapon. Maybe it's a PSX announcement. But we'll see how any of that's going to work.
13 years ago, on November 30th, 2004, Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within came out on GameCube, PC, and PS2. And then 12 years ago, on December 1st, 2005, Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones came out on PC and PS2. So these were the second and third in the Sands of Time trilogy. One of my favorite gaming trilogies of all time. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Sands of Time is the only good one. That's not true. What is true is The Warrior Within took it in a very dark...
That was like the heavy metal one?
New metal bullshit. Yeah. Like, and all of a sudden he's this angry character. And it's like, I feel... when you take away the marketing of the game and the soundtrack and that type of stuff that was very grim, dark, and unnecessary, it did a good job of maintaining the gameplay elements that made Sands of Time special. And I feel like it was an even tighter experience from a playing perspective. The story of 1, I think, is better than the story of 2. But I think that the dark stuff came from a good place, which was narrative driven. It was Death is following him because he cheated Death from Sands of Time.
Yeah.
By going back in time and all that shit. And I'm like, that's a cool concept for this. And so then Death was like chasing you throughout the levels, and those were some really fun set pieces for a time when we didn't really get things like that. Like, I feel like the big, major, over-the-top set-piece moments was kind of invented in the PS3 360 generation. Because like, you think of Call of Duty, you think of Uncharted, you think
I think
like,
of God of War, and that's the PlayStation 2 game.
That's true. But I feel like God of War might have been the first kind of introductory thing to it. And whereas I feel like PS3 and 360, that shit was expected.
Yeah.
So that's why Warrior Within, it had those moments when you were running away from from death, and I was like, this is really cool. But yeah, it's a lot of the things that were good about the first one they just took out, like Farah. The character just wasn't in it. Which
see, that's what I remember. Like being a huge Prince of Persia original fan or PlayStation 2 original fan, I remember buying the second one, and I remember not loving it. But I don't remember anything beyond the fact she wasn't in the game, and that's
she was so great. She was one of my favorite characters, and then. It also introduced dual wielding, which made the action and combat way better, way more fun, way more rewarding, because the first one was a little bit too button mashy. But yeah, I think Warrior Within gets shit on way too much. And then the next year, it was like annualized at that point. Warrior Within, or Two Thrones came out. And that is when I was like, oh, this is a really shit direction story-wise.
Yeah.
And there's an interesting story there where at E3, before it came out, they put the trailer out for it, and the trailer looked super interesting, where it was kind of answering the questions of what happened to Farah after 1, but also continuing after Warrior Within. There was the other girl, I forgot her name, that they introduced in that one, and how death related to all of them and where that was going. It was really dark, and like the prince came back to the kingdom, and he was seen as this like horrible person for all the things that he's done, the people that died because of him or whatever, and he was like chained up, and it was dark in a way that was like, wow, this is dark, matching the story, and this sounds like a super cool, interesting thing. And then the game didn't have any of it. It was like a Halo 5 Guardians moment where there's like the whole Poncho thing didn't happen, but it was like that whole story. And I still have the E3 trailer on my computer, and you could probably find it on YouTube. Yeah, it looked awesome, and then that's not what we got. We got something that was way more lighthearted. I think it was because they were like, hey, people don't like this dark stuff. Go back to Sands of Time. Go back to Sands of Time. So it was kind of like a Justice League situation where actually it's exactly a Justice League situation where everyone's like, oh, this is too dark. This is too dark. So they got people to come in and make it lighter, but then the end product is kind of caught in the middle
weird
somewhere.
Hodgepodge,
and you don't get a defined vision. And it's sad that that's where the franchise went out, but Pharaoh was back, and that was awesome.
Well, there was another one after that. Franchise came back.
You know, it's funny.
Your Nolan North version.
Well, they brought that back, and that was like a reboot in 2008. But then when the movie came out,
they put out another one that was still in the Sands of Times universe.
Yeah,
right?
The movie came out, and it wasn't good. But they did make a Prince of Persia Forgotten Kingdom or something like that. Forgotten Prince.
Forgotten Sands?
Forgotten Sands.
I thought that sounds right.
Yeah. That's that. It must be that. Forgotten Sands that was in this universe, and it wasn't that bad. It's a little short. But I was like, oh man, it just was kind of lost in the shuffle because of Assassin's Creed and all that stuff. But
Move is in Epic Mickey 2. Now I'll get to this Prince of Persia. Okay. Make sure I got that, because there's no, you're wrong here.
God, I want a new Prince of Persia so
Forgotten
bad.
Sands, yeah.
So bad.
It seems like something that's due, right? That seems like something you want, but it is, I guess. The concern would be there's still been so much Assassins. Like, how do you differentiate exactly? Don't get me wrong, the power, I think, alone does it. But.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I want it, though, very bad. And then this is a very interesting one.
Here comes an interesting one.
Usually when I put these on there, it's because one of us has something to say about it.
Sure.
This is one that I was just like, what the fuck is this? 15 years ago, on November 29th, 2002, Do You Like Horny Bunnies? ? 2 came out on PC.
Of course it's on PC.
In Japan.
Of course it's in Japan.
I'm going to read a little bit about this game.
Please tell me about Do You Like Horny Bunnies 2?
The game is a multi-scenario interactive eroge, E-R-O-G-E. Although there was about 5 or 10 minutes of clicking through dialogue before it becomes interactive.
Okay.
The main character is 18-year-old Yukari Fujisawa, a feminine-looking Japanese boy who has never had sex with a girl. He starts working as a waiter in a membership restaurant named Platinum, where all the girls who work there wear Playboy bunny suits. Soon, he finds out that the other waitresses, including his own cousin Saya Ishigami, have very unusual sexual tendencies. The game features original Japanese voices along with English translation and is 100% uncensored. A sequel title, Do You Like Horny Bunnies 2, which is the one that came out this week in gaming history, which is set in another branch of Platinum with cameos from the original's character, was also released in February 2004. In this Bushijo game from Japan, Yukari Fujisawa is a boy who works at a Platinum restaurant, an exclusive Italian eatery. He was employed for a strange and embarrassing reason. He was mistaken as a girl. This misunderstanding has been shown to follow him for all of his life. The girls are good at sensing secrets, but they will either ruin his job. Doesn't make sense. However, this discovery can still make his and their job and lives much easier and more fun, exciting, interesting, and especially enjoyable. Sexually.
Oh, sexually, okay.
What the fuck?
I'm looking here.
Not that it does. That any of this doesn't make sense, but it's just like, wow, this is such a. Oh, I would never call a game. Do you like horny bunnies?
Wow, no, they are. It is definitely super uncensored. That is definitely super uncensored. Can I see this a little bit? Yeah, hold on. I pulled it back a second. It's on YouTube, so they use it. Looked like Rambo's there to cover. I can't escape or shake her off. I just accept her. Click. Click faster. Click faster. Here we go. Here's where it's going to get graphic. It's going to get graphic. There you go. Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys can check it out for yourself. I recommend YouTubing Do You Like Horny Bunnies 2.
No, I just did the original because I wanted the straight shit. You know what I mean?
16 years ago, November 26, 2001, Twisted Metal Small Brawl came out on PS1. And I was very sad about this. They knocked it out of the park with Twisted Metal Black. And I was like, this is the best Twisted Metal to ever happen. And I was a big Twisted Metal guy.
Sure.
Loved it.
Who wasn't?
Twisted Metal 1, interesting. Cool idea. Not really solid gameplay. Live action cutscenes, fun, right?
Yeah.
Twisted Metal 2, solid gameplay. They brought it. They knew what they were doing. Created a fucking really cool, destructible environments, all that stuff. Iconic. Then it kind of went that weird thing where they made Twisted Metal 3 and 4 that were trash and even more trash.
Sure.
Because it wasn't Incognito. That was made by 343 Studios. Then
they never make another good game.
343?
Yeah.
I don't think they ever did. Incognito made Siphon Filter. I said it. Then Incognito made Twisted Metal Black on PS2, and that was great. Super dark, cutscenes were amazing and whatever. But then the feedback was, oh, it's too dark, what about the kids? So they made Small Brawl, which was like, oh, it's all these guys when they were small playing on remote control cars instead of real cars. And I was like, I was actually kind of about that. I'm like, this sounds like a cool idea. It's a little bit different. But yeah, the gameplay just didn't stack up. And they really they phoned it in. It was sad. And there's never been a good Twisted Metal game since.
Wait, what about, what?
Twisted Metal on PS3 was trash.
It wasn't trash.
It was trash. It had nothing that the people that like Twisted Metal being part of it, man. 3 playable characters that can play as any of the cars. Yeah. That's not what Twisted Metal's about.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm not saying.
And guess what those 3 characters were? Guess,
oh,
Greg.
I know. It was Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth. That makes sense. Total sense.
It was Dollface.
Dollface. Okay, she was only in black, but you know what? She was a cool character, sure.
Was it
Preacher? They were like, yo, let's make fucking Preacher one of the main characters. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Man. 16 years ago on December 2nd, 2001.
To be clear again, it was 989 Studios.
Not 343.
343 made Halo, which is why I was laying it out, and they never made a good game. And you didn't bite, and then I was like, wait, did I fuck this up?
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, 989.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that was a fuck up.
It happens. Well, it's just a bunch of numbers. Now, do you know why they were called 989?
I don't. I know why they're called 343.
That was their address, yeah, down in Foster City. Sony used to be split in 2 buildings before they moved to their big campus now, and there was 989 and there was, I guess it was 987 or whatever. But I remember when I went down there for like one of my first whatever demos of whatever, we went to like the Whole Foods in the parking lot for food, and it was like, oh, that's 989 over there, and that's why 989 Studios was 989 Studios.
That's cool. And then 16 years ago, December 2nd, 2001, Pikmin 1 came out on GameCube, starting a revolution.
Pikmin? Well,
I'm not a Pikmin guy.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah, it's one of those Nintendo franchises that don't speak to me.
Sure.
I get my Nintendo fanboy card revoked all the time.
Oh my gosh, wow. That's harsh for you.
I was like, you don't like this? Like,
I never get
it.
Yeah. Back then it didn't draw.
Real-time strategy that I just like, it just doesn't click to me.
When people on Wii U were getting into it, I was just like, I don't know, man.
3. Yeah. People love Pikmin.
More power to you. I'm not trying to stop you from loving anything except PC games.
All right.
Just joking. Calm down.
And now it is time for audience questions. You can go to kindoffunny.com/gamescast, just like so many of these beautiful people did, to talk to us and ask us questions. We'll answer them. A lot of these questions are about the Game Awards. Last week we did a lot of our predictions and all that stuff. The Game Awards are happening this upcoming Thursday on the internet. You can kind of watch them anywhere. They're
going to be everywhere. Are you doing a live stream?
We are doing a live stream reaction to it, and hopefully Andrea Renee wins, and it's going to be fantastic.
I'll be there drunk off my ass.
It's going to be awesome. We're sending Greg there to network.
Start shit.
And schmooze. Yeah. Start shit. There's a lot of winking going on with it. Network.
I'm going to be coming out on stage be like, I remember when I put this award show on the map.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bongos for Kev.
Hey!
Says, why wasn't Steep nominated? No, really, this is serious. All the sports games nominees seem predetermined years out, i.e. it's always FIFA, Madden, and the newest racing game. This seems to be the only category where no matter how hard a dev works, they won't get recognized.
That's a great point. What I would say as to why is I just don't think a lot of people played Steep. And I think that's because a lot of people, and this is a broad brush I'm painting with, a lot of people don't play sports games in the industry. And I think that would be the biggest thing, right? Of like, I think that we might have, I don't have it in front of me. Did we abstain from that category? We might have.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
We abstained or we voted?
We did not.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because it's one of those like, sure, I played Madden, I loved Long Shot. I didn't play FIFA. I didn't play UFC. I didn't play whatever, the other ones that are up there. We don't like racing games. And it's this interesting thing where we're not alone in that. And I'm not going to speak for other outlets, but I remember being at IGN every year, that was always the thing too, right? When we'd sit down to do a top 25 PlayStation games list, Colin and I used to argue about this all the time before and after. But I remember in the old days when it was just the PlayStation team and it was me, Donald Roper, and whoever the hell else is on at the time, Clements, it would be that thing if somebody would come in like, oh, you got to put a baseball game on there. You got to put a sports game on there. Like, we don't play those. We really don't feel like that's our place to go and do that. And then jump ahead to when Colin and I would do those lists, it was like, we're not putting those on there because we don't have anything to say about those. And that's not so, and I'm not, obviously tons of, Ryan McCaffrey plays more show than anybody I know. It's just a thing where who the hell knows? Like, and Steep didn't really blow people's hair back. It was more of a thing of like, hey, let's look at how pretty it is.
So interesting for Steep. I was wondering, I didn't know what the reviews it got.
Reviewed well.
It reviewed pretty damn well. 7.9 on IGN, 7.5 on GameSpot, 71 on Metacritic.
Yeah. Who reviewed it for IGN?
Let me see. Loading that motherfucker
Load it up. Load it up.
Some freelancer.
Exactly. This is the problem with sports games is a lot of times when we were at IGN or anywhere, they get freelanced out. You're the expert out there who reviews every Madden game. You're the person who does this thing. We freelance it out to you. You put it there. And what that means is that when we go to the voting box, we being whatever outlet I'm hypothetically working at right now, there's no one there to champion it. And if there's no one there to champion it, it's just a list that gets blown by. And it's not fair. And that sucks. And there's no real way to fix it unless games, this is where it gets all weird. There's no scientific for anything. There's no scientific method for reviewing, critiquing, or talking about games. And so it's been interesting on our own subreddit where it is like, man, I just wish any of these guys would play Persona and get it into the Game of the Year conversation. I wish somebody would play Nier and get into this. I've played Persona, right? And I don't think it's in this conversation. And there's only 7 of us. So it's not like that's a sampling that applies to everybody, and that's why you go to different places and different outlets for different reasons. And if there's a website or a YouTube, this is what I was tell you kids, right? When you talked about wanting to do this, there's a website or a thing that is like, we fucking love sports games and that's all we play. I would say their sports game of the year trophy means more than Game X or Outlet X's game of the year trophy if they're trying to be everything.
It's a real point. Real solid point.
Caught you off guard with that one, huh? Fucking laid the truth on you, and you weren't ready for another.
I was not ready for that. I was good.
You're going back in the paint, dunked on you. Dunked on you.
Chuck Sips says,
Chuck Sips!
Is this the highest quality Game of the Year vote? So many amazing games not able to make the cut. I think so.
I do too. I mean, my GameStop video early in the part of the year, right, was that 2017 is the best year for games. And I know that there's arguments, what about Metal Gear? What about the year of Metal Gear and Zelda and all? And I'm like, totally get that. This year's better. And I don't mean, and I think you can point to other years and say, look at these 5 amazing games that were there that literally changed the industry or like defined a genre. And I mean, yep, you're true. My argument here is look at the 10 Game of the Year candidates we have, let alone the other dozen or more that are like amazing, super solid 8.5 games that aren't Game of the Year, but like are a fucking hill to die on how much you love that game.
It's interesting. I'd like to do a real breakdown looking into the years. People always talk about 98, 2007, and now 2017 as the big ones. So I'd want to do a breakdown to actually look at that to see if that's true. Like there might have been a lot of 8.5s those years as well.
Yeah, but nobody can trust those scores.
I think you're right.
Craig Harris out there.
Yeah. But whatever. Maybe not the scores, but in terms of like where they actually lie. But I think that this year, off the top of my head, I'd say it's an easy answer to say that, yeah, in terms of what games are up there in the game of the year conversation, like there's the most ever.
I just mean week after week there have been at least 2 amazing games it feels like coming out that are just like, holy shit, you need to play this. Even the Doki Doki thing today, right? Of like what a crazy, awesome, amazing, it's free, it's on Steam, and you didn't know it was coming, it's here. Great, I don't have time to play it, and it could be, and that's the shitty thing of like, now just tell me about it. Andy's like, are you gonna beat Call of Duty? I really enjoyed what I played at Call of Duty. Nope, I'm not gonna get back to Call of Duty. There's a million other things coming or out, I guess now, but PlayerUnknown, and then Destiny 2. Or Chris Osiris, what am I doing?
Ashford Alex.
Should I play Xenoblade? I don't know.
Ashford Alex says, how much stock do you actually put in a fan vote like this? Do companies at the end of the day really care if they win something from the show? How prestigious is it?
Fan vote for Game Awards?
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Game Awards are only for specific things, right at the end. So like trending gamer and esports get place of the year, blah blah blah.
For the fan stuff, but like,
overall, like if you were to if there's a fan vote for Game of the Year, Best Action Game of the Year, fucking companies love that shit. They put them on the box. Think about like go walk through Walmart, whatever, or wherever you're getting your games, and look at the number of boxes that just have the E3 awards on there now, of like nominated for 50 E3 awards. You can get a Game of the Year, you can get whatever. You put it on there because it's one of those, if you put the IGN badge on there as Best Action Game of the Year, even if it says fan vote, like doesn't matter. On IGN it was published that year this. Yeah. All this is icing on the cake. An easy way to slap something on the box to get how many accolades you have to get a new press release out there. It does matter, and not to mention that it matters to the development people, right? Like it's a huge deal to get an award. I talk about it, in my limited capacity, but in 2015, winning Game Awards and then South by Southwest in 2016, but same idea. Like that was incredible. Like those are honors I never would expect for what we do, and it was awesome to have what we do for our audience, which is small and the way we want it to be tight knit. But to see the industry as a whole recognize that, to have a game up there, to get it recognized, to have. Even if it is fan voted, it doesn't matter. Getting recognized for what you do. That's if you want some advice from good old Greg Miller. The one thing I've learned in all my years is that every human being, and this isn't because of narcissism, every human being seeks recognition. And I mean it for what the work you do and the thing you do. From when you see someone on the street, you just pass before being like, hey, just to be like, oh man, I got not that I got recognized like a superstar. I am memorable enough to be there. To let alone to get up on a stage to have to have a fan vote on IGN and be there, GameSpot, whoever you want to be. It totally matters to these people because, again, if you haven't caught on to every time we talk about the layoffs and crunch and the 3 years you're working on a game before you can talk about it, all game developers want to do is make something awesome and share it with the world. And so to have the world speak back to them in any way and say, hey, this was awesome, that's what they want.
Yeah, and you walk into any game studio at all, and like they have their beautiful little trophy case, and they care about that stuff. That's stuff that they upkeep, and they put all the new things in to make sure it looks nice, and it means something to them. That's something that they want to showcase in their office.
It's definitely something I think I personally took for granted when we started Kind of Funny, and like we did those first E3 awards, and they were our faces, and it was stupid and funny for us, but it was cool to put them up on the wall, but the amount of times now somebody goes to visit a game studio and they send back a photo of our face because it's still on the wall. Like that's still a huge deal to somebody that Kind of Funny at the time. 5 guys over on the GameSpot second stage were like, this is a great game. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck yeah, they liked it.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see. Xanthi says, what new game reveals do you think will be at the show? Then a couple follow-up questions here that I want to lump into one thing. PS4 Germany says, will Rocksteady be there? Time for another character in Death Stranding? Shadow of the Tomb Raider? Tyler Creed says, will we get information on Cyberpunk 2077?
Cyber. So, can I see it real quick? Because that was a lot shoved in there. I want to make sure I got it all. Where is it?
There's a whole bunch of them. I just jumped around.
Okay, sorry. Well, then I'm just going to I won't even look at it.
Let's start with Kojima.
No.
Nothing from Kojima.
I don't think. I think he's there. I think they confirmed today. I think Jeff tweeted something about him being there to accept some award. Maybe.
Wasn't that last year?
I thought so too, but maybe. So is that what it was? He was just like, here he is. Here's a look back at him doing this thing.
Yeah, it must have been.
Okay,
that's
then.
when they broed out.
I mean, I bet Kojima will be there. Well, actually, you know what? I don't think he will be. Correct me if I'm wrong. PlayStation PSX panels are up, and there's not one for Death Stranding, right? There's no Kojima thing. Right?
I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. No, can't help me on that one. Okay. Then I'm saying no. He's not gonna. Here we hold on. Game Awards. Do this. Only 1 week. Oh yeah, it was a memorable moment. I thought it was confirming he would be there. Yeah. Okay. So no, I don't think you'll get any more Death Stranding information there. I would think Kojima would be there because he's friends with Jeff. But that is a long trip to not really do anything unless he's taking meetings at PSX. But there's no panel for him at PSX. That's different.
I feel like it's a Game Awards tradition.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, but
Kojima and Jeff, they're bros.
That's fine. You can be there and do. But I mean, I think it's also now it's a PlayStation thing, and I think PlayStation understands how thin they are spread. Right, and let's not overshadow everybody. Let's not put everything out there. Let's not. I don't think there'll be any new. I don't think there will be a new character for Death Stranding revealed at the Game Awards.
I feel that last year, when we had our predictions going into the Game Awards, all of us were like, there's no chance Death Stranding's there. No chance.
Yeah.
And then it opened with a 6-minute Death Stranding video.
Yeah.
Can you do that again? I get it. It gets a little egregious, but
it's Kojima.
They're bros.
Yeah, I agree.
They're fucking bros. I'm going to say yeah.
Okay.
Will there be a new character? That's a little bit more iffy. Will it be Emma Stone? That's a little more iffy as well. But you know what?
We're never going to let that rumor go.
Just for the fun, LaCroix get hype moment.
You're going to say yeah?
First.
Okay.
Emma Stone.
Oh, wow. I know that was like a disproven rumor or whatever. I still think that's probably happening at some point.
Me too.
Will Rocksteady be there? I don't think so.
No, Rocksteady.
I think that game's too big to do here. No offense to the Game Awards. I think that's like.
I think this is perfect for a Rocksteady game.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, Game Awards has had some huge heavy hitters, and I think that especially now, Andrea brought up some good points a couple weeks ago, talking about how to the developers and to the publishers and to the marketing people, it's not as big of a deal as it used to be because it used to be on Spike TV, whereas now it's on the internet. I think that's true for the last couple of years, but I think with where we're at now, everybody understands it, and everybody understands that the Game Awards is a place where reveals are made, and there's a lot of hubbub going around.
Sure.
And the question for me is Rocksteady's game close enough to be talked about that way?
I just feel like if I'm WB, I still am assuming Rocksteady's working on some variation of a Batman game. That's been the rumor, right? So we're going to put out a new Batman game from Rocksteady. If we're going to do that, the first marketing push needs to be a juggernaut, which would probably be the Game Informer cover timed with the trailer dropping and everybody having a first look preview. WB, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking them, are still very traditional in the way they do games press coverage. And I feel like that's how you do it, because beyond anything else that's happening there, it's the fact that Batman is the most Googled YouTube or superhero. He is still Batman, and the Rocksteady Batman games spoke to an audience larger than just what we are, video games industry, right? That brought in all sorts of people. People knew the Arkham series. So I feel like you'd go really, really, really big mainstream on top of it. And as much as I love the Game Awards would be great. If Rocksteady is working on a TMNT game, I think, totally you'd debut it here and do that. If you're starting a groundswell movement, Naughty Dog is making The Last of Us. Sure, show the trailer at Game Awards. Everyone know, as soon as that Naughty Dog splash happens, everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, we know them. Whereas that doesn't necessarily grab headlines elsewhere.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Not a fucking chance in hell.
Yeah, I don't know.
That game's still so far out.
Yeah. So thinking about Game Awards,
I want to just flip it real quick and put it on you. Today, an interesting question was submitted to Kind of Funny Games Daily, being Nintendo's giving away a bunch of seats. They're making a big deal about Game Awards.
Yep.
Do you think this is where they do a trailer and a release date for Champions Ballot finally?
So, yeah, check this out. What I was about to say is Game Awards over the last couple of years, if you really take bits and pieces, and this might not be true every single year, but I think trends that I've seen that I would be like, you can make some fair bets based on this, is Kojima and Jeff are boys. So there's going to be something Kojima related, whether that's a new trailer for Death Stranding or Metal Gear or this or that or whatever the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course. You're talking through the years.
Or just like giving him the award and like making a big deal out of that. There's a Kojima moment. So there'll be something like that. There is a lot of Telltale announcements. That's where we got Guardians. That's where we got Batman. There's a lot of things like that. Maybe we'll get some. That's where we got Game of Thrones. Telltale.
This is the smartest thing you said. Yeah, you'll probably get. I think the final season of Walking Dead's supposed to start soon, right? Like you'll probably get the first trailer for that.
So yeah, we're gonna get some Telltale stuff. I mentioned multiple Telltale stuff. If
you think Wolf too?
Previous years have shown us anything, like they do go back to that throughout the show. In addition to that, we get a Nintendo moment, whether it's the second big trailer for Breath of the Wild after the first one we got at E3. There was a more story-based one. That's where we got that. They had the Donkey Kong stuff years ago. They had there's been quote-unquote big Nintendo announcements made at the Game Awards. And I think now with the Switch, there has to be something. And I think that since we haven't heard Champions Ballad shit yet, first week of December, knowing it's coming out in December, yeah, we're probably going to get a trailer there with the announcement. I'm hoping for more, though. I'm hoping for more from Nintendo. I'm hoping for some new reveal of a game or something like that at Game Awards. Game Awards is also known for usually, not all the time, but usually having a oh shit moment, just one of them.
Yeah.
So if we get Rocksteady, we're not getting any of these other things. And I feel like at this point, even the Death Stranding would be an oh shit thing, just because oh shit, they're doing it again. So I wouldn't get too hyped about the Game Awards, even though it has 13 announcements or whatever.
Yeah, the most announcements they've ever had.
DLC. It's going to be a season 2 of this, whatever the fuck. It's going to be a patch notes and stuff like that. That is what Game Awards is, announcing here's new cars in Rocket League, that type of thing.
Sure. Which isn't bad, right? That's what you want to talk about to this audience.
And then just kind of updates on things. Looking forward, I wrote down a couple dates. We got Far Cry 5 coming February 27th. We got Ni no Kuni 2 coming up. We got Dragon Ball Fighters.
Far Cry 5, 26th. That's another slam dunk. You'll probably get another look at it.
That's what I'm saying. I think these are the things that you should expect. The Crew 2, March 16th. Metal Gear Survive. I don't think that'll be there, actually. Definitively will not be there. Sea of Thieves. There's a lot of games that I think that we're just going to get kind of updates on. So, yeah.
I'm still trying to knock down. Walking Dead is finally going to go. No, they said 2018. I thought it was this year.
I want one more good one.
The Telltale one's interesting. Yeah, you probably get Clem there. Hey guys, Greg here. Thanks for watching the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Cool, Greg. Can I have some more water?
Final question. Pepelo14 says, I love the Game Awards, and last year got 65% more live viewership than in 2015. But do you see a near future where people don't care what's happening with Emmy, Grammys, and Oscars, or is it apples and oranges? I think it's apples and oranges in a lot of ways, where we've talked about this many times, where the Game Awards is just as much a reveal show as it is an award show.
Yeah.
I think the award show is just kind of the Trojan horse to make a big production and make a mini E3 style thing, because that's what gets the viewers and the 65% more live viewers excited, as opposed to the Grammys and Oscars, where the Super Bowl is for movie debuts.
Sure.
With trailers
and cartoons.
Commercials. You're not getting new movie premiere trailers during the Oscars, right? Mm-hmm. And Grammys, it's music, so that's different as well. But I also don't think that any of these things are things people don't care about. You might not care about them, but I feel like they just aren't making that switch over to the internet fast enough, whereas Jeff was smart to fucking turn Video Game Awards into an internet-driven thing that's live everywhere, because that's the point, is getting the most people to see it.
It's also the thing that our industry and our hobby, our community, goes hand in hand with the internet, and goes hand in hand with knowing these people on a different level. We're still, that point where, what do you like? Oh, I like video games. I like to play games. I'm a gamer, right? And we always talk about how that's a weird thing to say, but the walls, you can like music and you can like movies and not give a shit about I really want to see Steven Spielberg honored for this thing. Or man, the Woody Harrelson's performance was so great, he deserves that. A lot of people enjoy those things but don't care about it to this level. Whereas I feel like for us, we're still an industry that is young, and we are an industry that is insular. If you're the super fan of video games, where you want to go see what does everybody else think's the best thing? Because I've been debating, and I go to this site and they're talking about that, but these YouTubers say that. What is the Game Awards, which is the ultimate award show we have in the industry?
Yeah, and I think that it's really, you got to ask, what is the point of each of these things? And I think that, like I was saying earlier, the Game Awards, the point is announcing games, revealing games. And a lot of people get upset when it's like, oh, it should be more about the awards and like we should award people or whatever. And the internet gets upset as it's happening. But then in addition to that, they also get upset at like, why is there rap performances and why is there this, why is there that? And I've been seeing a lot of Jeff tweeting and talking about what's going to be at this Game Awards. And I feel like they've done a good job of at least having the flip of that, where they have the rap stuff, they're like, why the fuck is this happening? But then they also have a Zelda medley. They also have something like that. And I feel like this year they're really going to knock it out of the park from everything I've heard. Yeah. Supposedly there's like a tribute to video game music that's awesome. Cool. So I'm excited for that. But
I love the Game Awards, man.
Me too. But when you compare it to something like the Oscars, where the only musical performers are the 5 people nominated for Song of the Year in movie soundtracks. Yeah. And it's like, that's focused. That makes sense. You know, it's like all those have purpose. Whereas here it is more about flashy fun, and also to give the people watching some celebrity credibility, because games don't have that kind of synonymous kind of understanding with the mainstream media, right? Sure. Where people aren't going to be like, oh, the Video Game Awards means something. Like, a Video Game Awards, what the fuck is that? Yeah. So get hype. Video Game Awards Thursday. Andrew Renee.
Vote for her.
Vote for her. Go to Google. Trending gamer. Vote. Click on Andrea Renee's face. It's easy. Very easy. Greg?
Yeah.
It's been a good show.
It's been a great show.
Feel good about this.
Well, yeah. Well, remember earlier when I was like, I don't know if we've played enough, and we went on for like 45 minutes about what we've played.
That's what happens. Video games are cool.
Video games are cool. Kevin
Until next time. Love you. Bye.
Yeah, you've been flicking me off all day. I'm going to call you out on it. I got to call you out on it sometimes, Kev. You're still doing it. They don't see it, so they think I'm just being mean to you, but you're still throwing them up.
Throwing up. Solid points.